Welcome back, folks! So just to catch you up on what I've been doing offline real quick, I did talk to these two and cleared up that camera quest we just finished up. And I also went over and talked to Hestu, traded in the seeds that I had, so now I've got 3 full rows of weapon and 2 full rows of bows. I also went back to Hyrule Castle real fast and dove into the docks there. There was 1 more hardy salmon, so I now have a total of 4 of those guys. And I wanted to grab him because I have a feeling we're getting real close to a blood moon here. It's either going to be tonight or tomorrow night the way I've been killing stuff. So again, in this game, those blood moons, guys, they're going to come around us constantly. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get shot out of the cannon like the circus here. And there it is. I've actually already pinned it, but you can do that now in the air if you so desire. Okay, so actually where we're going to land, I'm not going to fly all the way over there. I'm actually going to land right about here. And that's going to put us on a path here. It's the roadway, essentially. I'm going to follow the road all the way up. And there's going to be a couple of wells. Nothing, you know, super exciting, but it's loot nonetheless. And there's going to be some korok seeds. So yeah, all that's going to be on the way up there to that tower, plus a couple of caves. Okay, there should be a bloopy out here. Yeah, if you got the stamina for it, go for it. Probably don't really have it, but... I got either 2 or 3 shots on him. I couldn't tell if that third one hit or missed. So yeah, just to show you on the map where we're at now at this point. And this will mark, you know, when I get in there. Whatever name this cave is, it'll show up on the map here in a moment. And now, compared to what we've been dealing with, you're going to feel very overpowered in here. So simply just, you know, one hit these guys, they fall down and die. These are just your regular Horriblin. It's not black or blue or anything like that. And that'll activate your chest in here. Okay, don't forget your loot. A couple of bomb arrows, and watch out for the sticky frogs. It's probably a good time to start mentioning. It's a real good idea to scoop these guys up when you see them. Reason being is there's a suit upgrade here that you're going to need those guys, and sticky frogs also, so it's not just the sticky lizards. And the lizards, they're more plentiful. You'll see them in just about every cave, and you can even kind of walk around in circles in the same cave and they'll respawn, you know, in time. But those sticky frogs, they're a little tougher to find. So, yeah, anyway, just, you know, again, you might as well start getting a head start on collecting those guys. Okay, so there's some loot up there you can grab. I would have grabbed it had I not hit the wrong button and went back down. Okay, and every cave has a bubble frog. This cave is no exception. He's right behind door number 1 here. And I don't always get my headshot, so I usually like to get a better bow so I don't have to chase this guy all over the place and try to shoot through his bubbles and all that fun stuff. Okay, so not too much else in this cavern. It was really just for the bubble frog. And I thought I missed a bomb somewhere around here. Maybe I already grabbed it. Okay, so again, the loot isn't going to be, you know, super exciting, but... Ooh, critical hit. You know what? Yeah, but I don't like that tip. I'm going to re-tip that. That's not bad. Some of these earlier game weapons aren't bad when they start getting these bonuses, because again, the base weapon is only half the weapon. You got to think about what you're going to tip it with. So in this case... got plenty of them, why not? And that'll actually make a pretty decent weapon. As you can see, attack power 25 on a spear. You know, it's pretty good. Not too far off from our royal weapon there. So, again, you know, that critical hit there, that does double damage on the 4th or 5th swing, whatever the last swing is. Alright folks, so from here go ahead and exit your cave. And again, we're just going to follow the road. So notice on my mini-map here, this is the road we're going to follow. We're going to go right across that bridge. And remember that Hinox I pointed out a couple videos ago? Yeah, buddy, it is time. And I bet you're ready. Now, granted, you're going to bust up some of your really good weapons, and, you know, the loot isn't that great. It's trash loot, but I don't know. At the end of the day, you killed a Hinox, so it's still fun. Let's see here. I do not want to use critical hit just yet. Alright, so moving to that green marker I placed, or that green pin. And I think there's 4 or 5 Korok seeds here along the way. I'll get them as we go here, but this is the one I'm more likely to miss. And then I think about it way later, and I'm like, oh, it's too far to go back for. But since I'm here. Alrighty. Alright, so this Hudson puzzle is actually very easy, and they've already got some of it pre-built for you. This one's a little trickier than the one we did earlier. And the reason being, it's not level. So I find if I use this cart that's kind of like already pre-half built, it kind of levels this thing off and or pushes it up against the deal there. Just to kind of, you know, and it doesn't actually have to be touching. If there's a real small gap there, it's okay. But, you know, either way, go ahead and talk to him, tell him to let go. And that'll keep the sign standing up, and that'll clear your Hudson puzzle. Alright, so now that President Hudson puzzle is complete, again, just kind of sticking to the roadway here. Follow the yellow brick road. There's going to be a couple of trees popping out, but honestly, it's just, I don't really bother with them. Normally, if you just run away, they'll kind of forget you're there. And just like Breath of the Wild, these wagons have loot, but only on one side. In Breath of the Wild, you could pick up a gemstone on either side. But in this game, it's only one side or the other. So, you know, if you don't get it on one side, walk around to the other side, spam that button, and you should get some kind of gemstone out of there. Alright, so this is one of the reasons I wanted to come this way. You saw that treasure chest I didn't get there. You know, we're pretty stocked right now on weaponry, so... Come on. So if you really don't want to use bow and arrow on these guys, you can just, you know, as long as that sweet spot is exposed, you can hit them with any weapon. It doesn't have to be bow and arrow. I prefer the distance thing and the bow and arrow, but, you know, it's playstyle, so do what works for you. Do what works for you. Alright, again, got bigger and better. I think there was a bomb flower in here. And this next room... Oh yeah, wells are not caves, so if you're wondering about bubble frogs, that only applies to actual caves. Alright, take a moment, grab your gemstones. Part of why I came down here as well. Not getting anything great, but once in a while they'll drop something decent. Okay, once you've collected your loot, let's get back on the road here. There's going to be another Korok seed coming up and another well. And this Korok seed, it's just like that one on the Great Sky Island. There's the upside down pedestal you gotta hit. And there's actually another one of those coming up. It's going to be closer to the tower over there. So pretty much anytime you're in a little tunnel or something like that, look up and make sure there's no upside down pedestal. Alright guys, getting back on the road here and veering away. I think there's another well Right up here somewhere. Over here, okay. And there's our good friend the Hinox. Alright, so not too much in this well other than the fortified pumpkins. And these do respawn in time, so you know, you might want to make a mental marker of this one and periodically kind of come back and recheck it. There's a book there you can read as well. Another good thing about this little spot is that cooking pot. If it's raining, you've got a good indoor cooking pot right there. Alright, so our good friend the Hinox, you know, go ahead and take a moment if you're not already topped off. But chances are he's going to one-hit you anyway, so... Best idea here is not to get hit in the first place, but, you know, sometimes he gets away from you and it's going to happen, so... Alright, so what do I want to kill him with? I guess now's a good time to demonstrate why I hold on to these. Now remember in that video, that thing broke and I kept swinging it, so I've either lost out on 1 or 2 swings here with that, which is super unfortunate. But anyway, I'm going to show you the power of why I hold on to this ridiculous, about ready to break stuff. Okay, so since we don't have stealth, we're going to have to kind of approach him very slowly. And if I'm not ready for a blood moon, this might actually just trigger it. Okay, so I'm going to do both of those weapons that are flashing red. And that's probably not going to kill him because, again, I've already kind of wasted this one, but it'll get him almost there. Okay, so there's one. You can't see the damage just yet. His bar isn't showing. Okay, that's broken too, so he should be pretty close to dead. Okay, so, yeah, pretty close to dead. Alright, so at this point, guys, I'm just going to do it the old school way. Find a good bow, or, yeah, aerial bow and arrow point here. If I can get right. And that'll... Uh-oh. There we go. And that'll get him down so you can just kind of finish him off. Alright, so, as you can see, if I hadn't wasted the swings with those other 2 weapons, those might have been enough to actually completely finish him off. But again, that's why I keep those, because it's just a very quick, you know, targeted, concentrated dose of damage that you deal. Alrighty, so again, this is, I kind of mentioned this would all be junk here, but might as well take a moment to refresh my traveler's bow. Alright folks, so moving right along, now we own the bridge. There's going to be another Koroks seed coming up. And if you are interested, there's a couple of little, I guess you can call them bad boy nests, but they're all red. I think there might be one blue down there. But a couple of the skulls that are underneath these overhangs will have, you know, like I said, just a couple of low-hanging bodkins. Not anything real great for loot or anything, just... They're there for parts and whatever else you might be interested in. Alright, so speaking of, that other Korok seed is coming up. Whoa, we don't need that. Overkill. Oh, I got an up on that. No way. I did not think we were anywhere near far enough along in the game for bonuses. That means our weapon grading is already starting to level up. So I get a lot of questions on this in Breath of the Wild, and the same rule applies to this game, so I'm going to go into that since it's on my mind here. There are both fixed and leveled weapons in this game. So what I mean by that is some are fixed. So, you know, whether it's in a treasure chest or sitting out in the open, some weapons and items are going to be fixed, meaning it doesn't matter where you're at in the game, it's always going to be the same thing throughout the entire game. So for example, you know, say you find a treasure chest with a traveler's bow in it. If that's a fixed traveler's bow, it will be a traveler's bow until you finish the game. You can go back there, you know, assuming you don't open it and collect it, you can go back there at any point in the game and it'll never change. I'm actually not going to go in that well right now. The leveled weapon drops, and again, this could be carried by an enemy, it could be in a chest, or it could just be out in the open loose. Those will progress as you kill stuff. There's a KO credit that the game doesn't really show you a stat for, but trust me, it's there. So the more stuff you kill, the quicker the blood moons will come in cycle, and the quicker that KO meter, so to speak, will rise. And that's important because that's how you get the stronger weapons, for example, earlier in the game. So really the secret is, in a nutshell, kill a bunch of stuff. Just make it a habit. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and the better that KO count will tick up. And I don't see a moon yet. I'm really getting antsy to see if I get my blood moon tonight. And if I do, we're going to go back and cook real quick. Oh, no, that's the sunset. I got real excited there. Alright, so for now, blood moon or no blood moon, I should have enough time to kill this Battle Talus. I think I mentioned in the Hess 2 video I'd be coming back for that, so now's as good a time as any. And again, this is going to be a heavy hitting weapon situation. Now the Battle Taluses are just like the Stone Taluses with one exception. And that is going to be, they're going to be covered in enemies. Oh, I missed him completely. Okay, so now once they alert, or once he wakes up and stands up, those guys are going to be tougher to get. So what I like to do is aim for that stone, just like in Breath of the Wild. It's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to kind of knock them down. And now you're going to have a moment to kill these guys so they're not lobbing stuff at you and throwing arrows at you and whatever. Ouch. You know, just like that. Alright, so again, that stone. Now once the bad guys are dead up top, from here I like to ascend. It's super quick and easy to do. Now sometimes you're going to have trouble with that locking on and finding a good spot. But assuming you had a good connect like I just did, it makes this fight just really, really easy. So, you know, you might have to do that a couple of times. If you're up there long enough, he's going to toss you off, and you'll kind of have to, you know, shoot the gem again and get back up there. But I just found that was a real easy way to kind of get these things killed pretty quickly. Okay, so here's another one of those items. You can't pick it up, you can't take it with you, but you can absolutely fuse something to it. It's not great, it's not as good as what we have, but you know, you can destroy it later if you decide you don't like it. I could have sworn I saw a blood moon a second ago. Haha, baby! Alright. Done jibber jabbering. I'm gonna warp to the nearest, and I'm gonna take a gamble here and hope it's not gonna be raining. So again, guys, just like my lookout landing video, as soon as that thing strikes 11:30, it is cooking time. And I probably don't have a ton of stuff, but I definitely want to get some hearty meals cooked up. And the reason I like to do those during Blood Moon is you get a heart bonus for that, so you get one extra heart. Boy, that was a mouthful. Alright, here we go. Cooking time. So yeah, I know I don't have a ton of stuff. Those actually make, if I had 3 of them, those make a real good elixir for speed. Alright, from there, let's see here. And again, guys, power of choice. So, you know, I got that extra hearty salmon, which actually turned out to be perfect timing. So, you know, you could actually just make a couple of really big meals here, or you could spread these out a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. So now normally that would only give you 4 extra hearts, but during a blood moon, tossing that in, we'll bump that up to 5 extra hearts. And that's consistent. There's no randomization on these, so you're going to get that 1 extra heart every time. Okay, so again, power of choice. I'm going to do a couple just, you know, just 5 for when I'm not in a really big, ridiculous fight. Then from here, I might, you know, spoil myself a little, throw some hearty truffles in there and make a really good big one here. And then maybe do the same thing. Let's see, that'll, oh, these count the same. So let's see, this should be 3. I don't know how many this is going to make. Let's find out. But in my mind, I thought those gave you 4 extra, just like the salmon, but I could be wrong on that. And I think this only does 1. So in my mind, if I'm right, that should be 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus the blood moon, that should be 7. Okay, so yeah, I got the math right on that. So these only count for 1. So if you throw all 4 of those in now, that's only going to give you a total of 5 because we're at the blood moon. But hey, we got, you know, we spread those out a little bit, so honestly, I'm happy. And again, power of choice. So we've got a couple there, you know, some bigger than others, but all in all, it's going to give us a little bit of combat capability there with extra hearts. All right, let's see what else I got. You can go ahead and do extra stam. And the good thing about the yellow stamina is it refills all of your green. In addition to, it will put that yellow on top of the green. I think I got some frogs for that as well. Okay, you see I didn't get the extra stamina bonus on that one. I must have got extra hearts. I did get it that time. You know, you can toss a firefly in with a monster part, and that'll give you a glowy elixir. Same thing with the fish and the mushrooms, the glowing cavefish and the bright caps there. You cannot cook with these. Those are not edible. You'll get bunk food or whatever they call that, dubious food out of that. So I think that's pretty much all. Oh, wait. Almost forgot I had the bananas. That was from that Hyrule Castle raid. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of work my way back toward the pin up there. The tower, which is the whole reason I'm making this video. But I am an opportunist, so if I can get some blood moon cooking in along the way, you know I'm already going for it. Alright, so I'm kind of glad that blood moon hit now. Because if you want, you can go kill that luminous talus again and the Hinox again, but I'm not going to. But what I am kind of happy about is it didn't happen when I get to this next cave up here. So there's another hands monster up here. And guys, if you watched me through the Hyrule video castle, we didn't have to kill the hands monsters. I kind of figured out ways that they would just die. And I think it has something to do with the game being triggered. So like if it has to go away for a little cutscene to show a chest opening, or Ascend even will trigger it, I'm noticing that seems to be what's triggering these things to die. You know, it might be some kind of time limit there too, maybe after so many seconds, and if you're far enough away from them, it happens just the same. But I cannot figure out how to consistently trigger them to die solely with, you know, running away or putting some distance or, you know, time. Oftentimes I come back and they're still there. But the one thing I do notice that is more consistent is, like I said, making the game do something with the screen where it takes control and they end up dying that way. Okay, so again, there's a hands monster in this cave, but before that, don't forget your Koroks seed. So I will be able to kill this hands monster for you again, just like Hyrule Castle, without us actually having to do the work to get him killed. Okay, so we're now under the tower, so to speak. We're not directly under it, but we're going to be getting underground here. And feel free to scoop up your mushrooms. I think there's another bomb arrow or something down here. Yep, there it is. Alrighty, folks. So again, the cave will just continue descending. Now, sometimes that hand monster doesn't appear until you activate the shrine down here. Or, you know, maybe I just wasn't seeing it or something, but I walked around and I didn't see it. So the shrine is right across the way. So again, I don't see the thing, but it seems like as soon as I get going and I get up here, then he appears. Alright, so again, I'm going to show you how to get this thing killed, but before that, I'm actually going to activate the shrine here for the warping pedestal, or the travel gate. Always take the time to grab your gemstones. Alright, so now, you know, he knows we're here, he's activated, and he's not really chasing me. Okay, there. So at this point, go ahead and ascend. And again, the game is taking over now. The screen, you know, I have no control here. Wow, how tall is that mountain? Alright, so now he should effectively be dead. So to validate this, I'm going to go in there and see whether or not he died. And again, guys, I don't know, you know, this might be a glitch thing, or maybe it's something to do with time, you know, or distance. But I do know, there he is dead. But I do know, you know, ascend or, you know, activating some kind of chest or something in the game always seems to get him killed. Alright, so our shrine was right up top side there. You can't really see it. There it is. The next little opening up top side here is going to be our bubble frog. That's right, every cave has a bubble frog. And, you know, I'm not going to do this because time constraints in video and all that, but absolutely take the time to grab all the seeds, all the gemstones. There might even be another bomb flower or two hiding for you in here somewhere as well. Okay, but for now, I'm just going to kind of get a move on. Get back top side, and we're going to hit our tower here. There's one more korok seed I'd like to grab before I actually hit the tower. Or what I might do is actually just go ahead and activate the travel gate on that tower. And then fly over to that korok seed. So there's a couple of ways to get up here. There are some building materials across the way here. I'll point those out for you. So you can actually kind of build a, you know, like a floating raft, if you will, and then position it over there so you can use a cinch to get up from that side. Or you should have the stamina to just kind of get over here, climb this portion of the spire here, and get up that way as well. Okay, again, I'm just going to activate the travel gate real fast here so I can get that last korok seed for y'all. Alright, so of course to get your map, that's what you want to activate at that point, that center circle there, and that'll shoot you up in the air like the circus, and you'll have your map. So very Breath of the Wild-like, folks. Suspicious dead tree in the middle of a bunch of green trees. Whoops, I was not paying attention there. And, you know, all you got to do is climb up there and you'll get your korok seed. So from here, guys, I'm just going to warp back and get that map, you know, but I'll go ahead and cut video. Thanks for sticking around. Hope that was fun. Until the next time, happy hunting.